She was not in trouble.
She was leading it into a trap. Question is,
Who is she?
Don't get too attached, my young friend. I saw her first.
Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here. You intellectuals know why we're here. We've technically got one more Titan left to talk about before we'll have a full set. The only question is, which episode to tackle? There are a total of 6 Terra episodes in. Not gonna lie, I was very tempted to pick the one where she comes back because, as I said before, I really enjoy episodes where Raven is co-piloting. But eventually I decided that this time around, Glinda's right.
It's always best to start at the beginning.
So today we're starting from the beginning with the episode simply titled Terra. There's a very specific reason I want to talk about this one, which we'll get into later. The episode starts just outside of Titan's tower where we see a girl running from a giant scorpion. And I'm immediately confused. Why is there a giant scorpion? Yes, this is a show about Titans, but they're not clashing. Yet. Our usual team shows up to help the girl out, but before they can do anything, it's revealed they're not the only superheroes in town.
We're the Teen Titans. Rock on. It's cool to meet you guys. I'm Terra.
Oh my goodness, that voice. It's been a minute since I've heard Terra's voice, but listening to it now, it instantly rang a bell. Ashley Johnson. Nope, that's not hitting, but she definitely played in something I know. IMDb, what am I working with?
If we were able to get all the other kids at the playground to help us, our likelihood of success increases 10 to 15%.
Nah, I don't think that's it, but my mind is kind of blown now.
What are you so afraid of? That I'm gonna end up like Sam? I can't get infected.
Close, but I feel like it's something else. Something I've watched a lot of.
I don't know. I really don't feel comfortable. Well, okay, truth.
What? I don't even know who that alien is. What are you? Alien. Oh, duh. That's where I recognize her voice from.
No way what, Kevin? No way he'll find my magic book? No way he'll steal my most powerful gate spell? No way he'll get away?
While the Titans all get to know Terra, Beast Boy and Starfire immediately take a liking to her. Hey, look at that. Ashley Johnson became a romantic interest for Greg Sipes. What a completely unique circumstance.
Where do you come from? How did you get here? What is your favorite color? Do you wish to be my friend? Earth, walked, red, and sure.
Didn't figure Terra for a red girl. Also, my goodness gracious, that anatomy. Terra lets the Titans know that she's a nomad who just happens to be in town and has been sleeping in a nearby cave. However, when she said she would be Starfire's friend, she knew not the commitment she was making.
I cannot permit my new friend to slumber in a lonely cave of darkness. I have a flashlight.
that's not good enough.
The more excitable Titans insist Terra stay with them and pretty much drag her to the tower. Meanwhile, the calmer Titans stay back for a bit.
Everything okay?
No, I'm trying to figure out where this desert came from. We live on an island next to a city. There should be water here. Later in the tower, we see Terra making herself at home.
Whoa, mud bath.
Sorry. Mind if I use your sink?
Ew, Terra, I'm pretty sure they got washing machines. Don't do that in the kitchen sink. Also, pretty bold of you to wear nothing but a robe with 3 teenage boys around, one of whom clearly has a crush on you. As Terra does more and more things, the Titans begin to realize the extent of her situation.
She needs more than a place to crash.
She needs a home.
She could stay here with us.
She would make a good addition to the team.
Kinda premature there, Cyborg. You saw her defeat one monster. Robin says he'll consider adding Terra, but he needs to see what she can do first. Terra hears this and, for unknown reasons, becomes concerned. Later that night, Beast Boy, in checking up on her, catches Terra lost in thought. No, Beast Boy, don't put an arch in your throw. Momentum, my dude. If the stone goes too far up, gravity's force will be greater than the surface tension of the water and it won't skip. What is this witchcraft? No, I refuse to believe that horrible throw wasn't controlled by Terra. Okay, that was pretty cute. Terra tells Beast Boy that she doesn't want to stay, but he's not buying it. He manages to convince her to give it at least one more day.
And I can't wait to see what your powers do when you really cut them loose.
I'm sorry. I'm so stupid.
Terra, it's okay. You can't totally control your powers.
Terra makes Beast Boy swear that he won't tell the others about her lack of control. Beast Boy promises, but assures Terra that none of his friends would care even if they knew. The next day, we see the Titans trying out a new training course.
Yes, I get him, dude! Wow. Nice!
We really let this show get away with a lot, didn't we?
Booyah! New course record!
You're the first one to do the course.
Who asked you that, Raven? Oh, it was you? Oh, okay. Yeah, it turns out it was nobody. Next up is Terra, who is nervous and ready to disappoint.
You can do it. Besides, it's just practice. It doesn't matter if you mess up. Not that you're gonna mess up.
He's stumbling over his words, but this is advice I find a lot of people tend to forget. Practice is where you're supposed to fail. In the words of the Grinch, that's what these tests are for! Terra fumbles her way through the obstacle course, panicking the whole time, but is able to think on her feet and beat it faster than Cyborg. She did the thing!
You were incredible!
I did it. You said I could do it and you were right.
Before the teens can celebrate for too long, the Titans get an alert. Slade is apparently, doing something. Doesn't really matter, the Titans just see his face and they instinctively go.
Hey, you coming or what?
Hey, look at that. Greg Sipes and Ashley Johnson are using their superpowers to fight bad guys together. This reminds me of nothing. We transition to a diamond mine where Slade's robots are attacking. The Teen Titans plus one jump into action and get going on their superhero shenanigans.
You boys ready to rock?
Keep her! She should be on the team for that line alone. The action scene here does something I've yet to see in the episodes I've reviewed so far. Each Titan gets a moment to shine before getting saved by another teammate. Feels like the moment wanted to emphasize their teamwork this time around. It's a fun scene, but it once again becomes very obvious that they are nerfing some of the Titans. Why do they keep forgetting that Starfire is stronger than she looks? Eventually, it's Terra's time to shine, but she loses control and causes a cave-in right on top of Beast Boy. Devastated, Terra runs away from the incident, but before she can dwell on what happened for too long, she comes across Slade.
Looks like I've got you.
Actually, Terra, I've got you.
I need y'all to realize that this is a girl who is capable of moving literal mountains, and Slade just easily terrified her without any powers.
I see we have much to talk about.
Mind if I talk with my hands?
Was that a reference to something? Because if not, it was a horrible response. You should have said something like, sorry, I'm not much of a talker. I'm more of a hands-on kind of girl. Like, how do you talk with your hands? Are you using sign language? Are you a puppeteer? Also, while we're on the subject, do you intellectuals think Terra using her hands for her powers actually does anything? Like, yeah, we see her use them to direct her powers and they even glow, but I actually suspect she doesn't have to do that. Plenty of times we see Terra's powers activate just by her thinking. I feel like the Earth is a natural extension of herself, so all she has to do is think and or feel and it responds. I also think the only reason she uses her hands is because she's human and humans naturally use their hands when they want more control over something. What I'm saying is that rather than actually doing anything, her hands act as focusers and are more psychological than they are functional. It's actually a pretty common thing to see when dealing with mental-based superpowers. As the fight goes on, Slade shows Terra that she's not a match for him. With the upper hand, Slade also begins to get into Terra's head, revealing that he's been watching her and he knows about her troubled past.
Everywhere you go, you try to do good. You fail. So everyone turns against you. And when you lose control, you are more dangerous than anything I've ever seen.
You must have never seen Raven on a bad day. Slade lets Terra know that he can help her. He has the ability to train her to get control of her powers.
Come with me, Terra, and I can teach you to shine.
Okay, I get the metaphor, but how did Slade know that specific piece of rock had a diamond in it? Like, just because this is a diamond mine doesn't mean every stone has one. Terra hesitates given that Slade is, you know, a bad guy. His pitch is also weakened since she recently started trusting in the Titans.
You don't really believe they're your friends, do you, Terra?
Beast Boy.
Can't keep his mouth shut forever. He'll tell them, and when they find out what's wrong with you, they'll reject you like everyone else.
As Slade continues to rile Terra up, the girl feels her powers slipping from her grasp yet again.
Don't lose control!
Now, Terra, how can you lose something you never had?
I just wanted to play that line because I thought it was cool. Slade, having delivered his message, slinks away to scheme another day. Immediately after, Beast Boy shows up. I would have done that shot like this. But then I guess that implies Terra can't see straight when she's using her powers, so I don't know.
It's okay, Terra. I'm here. I'm here.
Beast Boy is able to calm Terra down and assures her that he won't break his promise. Hey, look at that. Greg Sipes had to calm Ashley Johnson down after she almost went full berserk mode because the bad guy pushed her emotionally. Oh goodness, go watch Alien Force, it makes these jokes funny. Later at the tower, Terra attempts to say her goodbyes, but the Titans are a pretty stubborn lot. They offer to let Terra stay with them permanently.
You'll need more training. I know you have trouble controlling your powers, and we can help.
You promised. You lied to me.
I just figured it out. I didn't know it was a secret.
The episode ends with Terra fleeing the Titans and Slade continuing to monitor her, sure of himself that she'll eventually wind up with him. And that was Terra. A decent episode. Comedy is fine and the action is really good. Not much of a lesson, so my high horse gets to stay in his stable for today, but I do have another tangent inside of me that I want to get out. Terra is one of the most iconic parts of this show. Some people hate her, some people love her, but no matter what, everyone remembers her. As for me, while I've always liked the Terra arc, there was one part of her story that, for the longest time, didn't sit right with me.
You told him?
I didn't.
You promised. You lied to me.
If you've been watching my channel long enough, you know I'm very critical of problems in stories that can be solved with proper communication, and this is a blatant example of that. If Terra had just waited and listened for literally 5 seconds, Robin could have explained that Beast Boy didn't spill her secret. Even as a kid, that part of the story felt forced and annoying to me. It's part of the reason why I was tempted to jump straight into Terra's return episode. However, sitting down and rewatching this as an adult has recontextualized Terra for me. Not just for this episode, but for her entire journey, mainly because of this part right here.
Everywhere you go, you try to do good. And everywhere, you fail. So everyone turns against you.
As a kid, I listened to what Slade said, but as an adult who has seen more stories about traumatic experiences, both fictional and real, I'm really hearing him for the first time. A girl constantly trying her hardest to help, but always ends up messing up to the point that people hate her, is now so scared of rejection that she's developed the habit of leaving before getting too comfortable. It may be in disguise, but I can still recognize the fear of failure when I see it, and doing so makes me sympathize with Terra so much more. Remember this scene?
And I can't wait to see what your powers do when you really cut them loose.
Like I said, Terra's powers are mental. They're an extension of her brain and her emotions. I don't have absolute proof, but when Beast Boy told Terra he couldn't wait to see what her powers could do, he more than likely triggered immense fear in her. The fear of facing rejection. Feeling that made Terra's powers instinctively activate. This also puts more context for the obstacle course scene.
You are incredible.
I did it. You said I could do it and you were right.
Terra isn't used to people believing in her, especially after they found out she can't control herself. Beast Boy was a change to that, hence why the cinematography focuses on him specifically inviting Terra to come fight Slade. Beast Boy knows Terra has control issues, yet he's still willing to work with her. If any other Titan had invited her, the scene wouldn't have meant as much because said Titan would be ignorant of Terra's problem. The Titans as a whole are starting to tear down Terra's wall of fear, and it's Beast Boy's constant apathy of her lack of control that's being the most effective. But when Slade starts making predictions about how the Titans will eventually reject her, starting with Beast Boy breaking his promise, it reignites the fear Terra was facing prior. So when Robin revealed he knew Terra's secret, her brain panicked and immediately assumed the worst. It's not so much that Beast Boy broke his promise, it's that in believing he did, Terra felt she couldn't trust him, she couldn't trust the Titans, and now it was only a matter of time before every other prediction Slade gave her would come true. I mean, Terra leaving the group is still a bit forced. Both Starfire and Raven are faster than her, so they could have stopped her easily if they wanted. But once you understand the trauma Terra went through, you begin to put together why it was so easy for her to run away. And it also makes a bit more sense as to whom she ends up running to. This has been Shady Doorags. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.